Hey guys, Wolfie here with a Dissidio Final Fantasy Opera Omnio Global video for the 23rd of August, 2019. I'm just gonna go straight into it. Before I do though, and I'm gonna bring this up as soon as I get it, and I'm gonna bring this certain aspect up once we get done looking over a certain thing, and that certain thing is Lightning's rework. I'm kind of surprised it came this early, although. So, and I was anticipating this coming later. And the reason why I say it like that is because, again, we know that the Final Fantasy 13 10-year anniversary is not too far along, and I was hoping that the Global would commemorate that with the rework. But either way, we do have Lightning's rework. So, in regards to her Crystal Strength level 54 passive, it's now renamed to buffed attack boost up. So not only does this raise her max bravery, it now increases her attack stat with active buffs. So if you have her with, for example, Yastola or Rydia or Lena, anyone who could provide buffs to the party, is that lightning stats also go up. And in this case, it's her attack stat on top of her max bravery, which is freaking awesome. Now, in regards to her Crystal Strength level 55 Spark Strike extension, it gains an additional use. And you have the Spark Strike base form and the plus form. Either way, you get an HP attack out of it after you use it, which is really good because there are varying abilities where you have to get the bravery up to a certain point where the HP attack is triggered out of it. Lightning's case, no need. And you see here the overflow limit for Spark Strike in its base form is 110%. The plus version, and this comes this does come into play. The plus version is gaining the commando stack here at 2 levels, and the commando stack is to raise max bravery and attack. This does not increase based on level, so once you have the stat one level at it, you're good. But if the commando level is at level 2, let me see here if I can grab the Spark Strike Plus version. It says here, in Stolen Bravery may exceed max up to 120%. Now, likewise, with the Ravager stack, let me grab it real quick. It raises her max bravery and speed. And with this, let me grab the Flourish of Steel Plus form. So Stolen Bravery may exceed max up to 150%. So, what do I think about this? So you notice here, like all this, it's a lot of stuff to explain, so I'm just going to cut to the chase. The thing is, like she does need a little bit of setup, but the setup is not as extreme from before. Meaning that you can use Spark Strike, and so she's given, let's see here. She's given one level of the Ravager stance, which is max brave and speed. So she can use that, and she can follow it up with a Brave Attack Plus, and then she gets into Flourish of Steel Plus. So, and then with Flourish of Steel, you have one additional use of that. So you can use Flourish of Steel once, then you can use HP Attack Plus, and then you get Spark Strike Plus. So it's one of those, it's like you don't have to use her abilities as much, which is great. And then you get Army of 1, you save your ability uses, and this is providing you have her EX weapon already. So this is a rework that is very well timed, very much appreciated, and Lightning becomes something else. And I do want to say here that Lightning is a future investment worthy unit. And this is mainly because of her future 7070 awakening, and this is and when she gets her 7070, this is when she gets her EX plus, and she becomes an entirely different animal altogether. And she is one of those units, in my opinion, who will give Vayne a run for the money. So, and the thing is, what I like about Lightning more so than Vayne is that she has a way to sustain herself in battle in regards to recovery HP. So, she's a future investment worthy character, in my opinion. And that's not just with her rework, but her future 7070 awakening and her EX plus. Now, with that out of the way, we're going to go straight into the banner. This is the EX plus. This is the return of the EX weapons for Lightning and Garnet, alongside the 15 is 35 CP weapons for Lightning, Garnet, and Sabin. I am going to be skipping this banner because I already have Lightning's EX weapon, and I am not a Garnet fan at all. So, we're just going to take a quick look at Lightning's EX ability, Army of 1. This is the base form. Now, the difference between the base form and the plus version is the turn delay aspect. So, instead, for the base form, you only get a turn delay by 1 turn. With the plus form, it's 2 turns instead of 1. So, I think somebody was wondering, why is this such person using Army of 1 plus? That's why it's the delay, the slight increase in the turn delay. And this is the limit break 1, 2, and 3 for Army of 1. Now we're going to go into the Sura's Rod and the EX ability Holy Prayer. Now, my only concern here with Holy Prayer is that it's using non-elemental abilities with thunder and water. And the only reason I'm concerned about this is because of enemies that may be resistant or absorbing either thunder or water elemental damage. So, like I said, again, I am going to be skipping this banner, only because I'm not a Garnet fan, and Garnet's EX weapon would be the only one I'm going after, if I were. So, with that part out of the way, we do have the return of Lightning's alternate costume, which is from 13.2. And before I want to get into that, I almost forgot to mention that with Lightning's Army of 1 Plus, this is actually the 13.2 / Lightning Returns version of the ability, because those two give Lightning some HP back, as opposed to the Final Fantasy 13 version of Army of 1. So, this is going to be $37 United States currency. And this is here now until the 6th of September at 1:59 UTC, which is close to the United Kingdom, and to be exact. And if you have this costume already, because I know I do, we'll only get the gems this time around. And as a friendly reminder, this is just a cosmetic change. And for those of you who are wondering why the costumes cannot be sold by themselves, just type in DFFOO producer interview on Google or whatever search engine. There is an article where the producer mentions a law where the costumes cannot be sold by themselves. However, he does not specify the exact law, but he does bring it up in one of those interviews. So we're going to get straight into the Abyss Beta, Strata 7 through 9. Now, there was a feedback from somebody on Facebook, which I fully agree with. It's like not released so soon, because it's taken people who are able to go through it all, one day to complete. And we're going to get into the limited time mission details for Strata 7 through 9. It's just a grand total of 12 draw tickets, as you can see here, and 2 power tokens. What do I think about this? I'm just wasting I personally am just wasting my time, because the rewards are not incentive enough for me to even want to tackle it. And when it comes to missing out and stuff like this, it's not the end of the world. But for those of you who want to go for it, go for it. I mean, I just slowed down with this game because of varying reasons, some of it being health related. But either way, when it comes down to the Abyss Part 2, it does come with a treasure hunt inside the World of Illusions, an easy 350 gems. And, of course, this does feature Sabin, Garnet, and Lightning. And this is a friendly reminder about the important info. Abyss Beta will become inaccessible when the final version is released. We still don't have a time date for the final version. The progress so far will not carry over. So again, this is something to keep in mind. And like I said, I'm not really that enticed to even finish up Abyss Beta at all. I mean, whenever I get to whatever, I get to whatever. Now, my concern here is that we have, I wouldn't say concern, but more of a wondering aspect of it, is that with Cater's special artifact passives, we still don't have a date on that. However, I have a feeling something's coming up either next week or early September, where we get information on how to farm for Cater's special artifact passives, and that's because she is a part of the Cursed 6. And if you're part of the Cursed 6, you need certain passives in the artifacts in order to stay relevant in the game. So, and I do remember the Twitch stream mentioning that it should be this month, but again, we're in late August. We still don't have an idea. However, I do feel sometime next week we'll get more information. And the reason why I kind of say it like that is because the Twitch stream, this should be coming up on Monday afternoon. So, what are my final thoughts on all this? I'm pleasantly surprised with Lightning's rework. I was hoping that it would come later than usual, but the fact that it's earlier than usual, it gives her more time to shine in global. Like I said, she is, in my opinion, a future investment-worthy character, and that's part of it is because of this rework, but more so because of her future 7070 Awakening and EX Plus version, and she does give a Vayne a run for the money. And the only thing that Lightning has on Vayne is the fact that she has ways to get her own HP back. That's something Vayne clearly does not have. And with Abyss Beta, I mean, the rewards are, again, just not incentive enough for me to even want to complete it right now. However, I do hope in the future where there's the final version, there's not as difficult stratas for the final version of Abyss. It's where, I mean, some of the newer players can try it out, but or alternatively, there's like some indication that the player needs to be at a certain rank, or have this many characters, or has a certain amount of weapons to even tackle it. But that's just me. And this is where I will end this video. With Wolvie here, signing off. I will catch you all on the flip side.